Okay, we're going to delay the start of the meeting until the clerk gets back. Well, the first time we went out, found a hole in the boat.
Well, that's
So apparently one time I ran in his garage, there was a little hole that big. So Kim got out there as I was parking the trailer, she comes right back. So you got water. Figures was looking for. We got some of the bleeding well stuff. Washing it.
well, we went behind. I said, well, that must have been a short ride. Guys were in the driveway because we left so after you.
It was a short ride.
Very short.
Kim took off, came back. Took us more time to put the boat in and out. But we went again a couple of days later after everything set and dried and worked great. So.
Do that. Yeah, and technically, we didn't have any to go out there, so it's like after that. Huh?
About a month.
All right, let's call the meeting to order. Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Second item on the agenda, select board chairman. We vote to choose a new chairman. Now Ron's term is done. Any motions for a new chairman?
Make a motion. Like Oscar.
Second. All in favor? All opposed?
I think you lost that one.
Okay. Well, I guess I get to play the game. All right. Just a quick review of the select board policy. We're probably gonna run these meetings a little bit different, and a little more structured than we've done it in the past. What we request for the record, if you have a comment, raise your hand. We may or may not call on you during the discussion at the time, but we will try to get to you during the public comment section. For the first time in the meeting, actually, when you raise your hand, we call on you, please announce who you are. We don't know all your names, and for the record, just have your name on record. If it goes past that, you don't have to do it every time you talk, but at least the first time we get through that. All right, so adjustments to the agenda. Any adjustments to the agenda that you guys saw? So no adjustments. Approval of the prior minutes. I move we approve the prior minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
No abstain.
Yep. Mike abstains. Treasurer's warrant. Move we approve the payroll warrants that were committed. All in favor? Move we approve the AP warrants that were submitted. All in favor? Okay, all in favor? Everything is approved on the warrants. All right, new business. We have review of the process for emergency contracting. I
Okay.
believe the town manager asked that to be included.
In the last
I met with Mr. Keenan, we're talking about that we missed to get a permit from DOT for that culvert that was done in front of the firehouse on Sunk Lake Road.
Hmm.
When we first made an inquiry about getting the culvert, we were misinformed as to how we can have that and then have it put there and be good. So it seems that a senior personnel was no longer there, having retirement, provided the culvert without the information of applying for the permit. Permits have subsequently been obtained. As far as process for emergency contracting, any contracting like roads washed out, work that needs to be done sooner than later will come on an as need basis.
What was the deck? I know.
So what we had at the firehouse was the year before we identified a drop. When the new fire truck came in, there was now a distinct drop between the pavement and the building.
Hey, Ray. I can't hear you. too good.
Oh, sorry, I'm a little,
Okay.
the pavement between the building and the apron of the inside was off. And the new very large fire truck was starting to have a problem coming in and out.
Okay.
We knew we got to adjust it at some point. So we had looked into last year when Eaton was in town, as far as getting something done there. The pricing was way more than we had budgeted and we could afford. So we held off. This year, decided we had to do something. So we were able to split the work. Got someone to do part of the work now, well, part of the work in last year's budget to finish the work in this year's budget.
What is finishing the work means? That's gonna be paved again?
Pave it, yeah.
Okay.
So you got equal what? The first price
It actually comes a little less than what Eaton was. And what actually we got differently is when the ground was taken up, there was some underground gutter pipes that were there. One that never worked well. Now we know why. The pipe was crushed and gone. And some other, so the piping was redone. A different set of prep than Eaton had proposed. So we come in a little less, but we do it over 2 fiscal years, which makes it affordable within the budget time.
Why was it dug down 3 feet?
Certain spots you'll have dug down because that's where the gutters were.
Someone said whole thing was dug down 3 feet.
No, the areas where you had the drainage that had to be corrected, you would have had that.
Yeah, I guess in the future, we talked about this, give us a heads up when that's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's the misstep in that. There should have been a better heads up on it.
All right, any other issues on that?
No.
Okay, Charter Commission petition.
I wanted to ask, what warranted emergency contracting on that?
Can you hold that for the public comment? I'll make a note. So. All right, got it. Next item, we'll get to the, Charter Commission petition. Zoom. State your name, John, please.
Oh, John Keenan.
Direct this way.
Printed out a couple of you guys. The submitting to the minute. Quick and easy. We started we have 5 petitioners that is circulating a petition to start a charter commission. The charter commission is going to consist of 6 voted members from the community and 3 appointed members. One of the appointed members can be a selectman, and the appointed positions do not have to be a resident of Sullivan. But the ones that are voted on will be Sullivan residents.
John, may I ask a question before you go further? The way I read that, you could have come to the select board and asked if we wanted to do this. And if we would have said yes, you would not have to have gone through the petition process.
That's correct, but I had no faith in the select board to actually get together to do that. So I went ahead and did the petitioners. That way I don't have to get into any rebuttals with the selectmen. Because once the selectmen make that decision, then the selectmen at that point can take control and the whole process. But this way, the 5 petitioners can make sure that it gets put on the next time that we vote in the town of Sullivan. That hopefully, if we're able to get it within the 100 days, 90 days, that it would be on the fall ballot. And then there's questions about nomination, okay? And
Again, I'm going to go back to the.
well, these are the reasons why
Okay.
we didn't come to the board.
Do you want to give it a chance now? It's not gonna make any difference in the work you're doing, but it could make your job a lot easier if you got an approval on it, right?
Yeah, it would make our job a lot easier, but if you,
We'd rather get the support
All
of the
right.
community, you know,
All right.
before going that route.
Yeah.
And, you know,
we don't want
I
the same
was
thing
thinking
to
of
happen
the
with
other
the budget
petitioner,
committee, do all that work and then you
Jerry
guys
and
say no.
Teal and Willie and Guyton, is it? I think so. So I don't want to speak upon you guys, if you would rather the select board to do it, or we can keep going, or we can keep getting signatures when we go. How do you feel about it?
Say, move to the board.
Okay, Jerry, you would have a,
I just worry when they're gonna do to us like they did at the budget committee, like they did to me over the marijuana thing, they just wanna drag this thing out forever and ever and ever.
well, there are
And they
time
won't do
limits,
that.
there are time
Hold
limits.
on,
They
if
have
they're
to
saying
follow.
they won't do that, then I would cautiously say yes.
Okay. That, they would have to obey to the time limit,
Sure.
the same time limits that we would have as petitioners. We would just save the 120 days. And then that way you guys can, if you want to approve it tonight, we can get it on the ballot.
Well, that was the question I was going to ask. I've had no conversations.
Okay, since we have a quorum here tonight, we can go ahead and decide to allow the board to do that.
Yeah.
So with you guys' permission, I formally ask the board to consider making the nomination for the charter commission.
And my thought was, I would ask, or if you guys want to think about it, what this is to get a town charter. And if you agree with it now, we can vote on it now. If you want another 2 weeks to think of it, we'll make the decision at the next meeting, because this is the first we've all really gotten into it.
I don't know much about it, so,
Okay,
to be
So
honest.
that paperwork I put on the table there, that's the.
This
town's
is one-
establishment
yeah.
paper.
Yeah, I'm already know where I want to sit on it.
okay,
We might have our signatures in 2 weeks. anyway.
yeah, so either or, we'll just progress until you make the decision. And if you make the decision, that's great. But since Mike is asking what it's about, I just wanted to read this here, then it may help Mike understand or start to understand, you know, the benefits.
I got it, so that's what you're talking about, Jim.
Well, once I read it, then it becomes official because it's in the
There you go.
minutes, okay? So may I continue, Mike?
Yeah, actually, direct your comments to me, please. Thank
Oh, the mic.
Well, I said Mike.
you.
So what I presented to the board is an overview of the benefits of a charter. A Maine town charter acts as a local constitution, granting municipality home rule authority. It gives towns like Hancock and neighboring communities the power to design their own government structure, to establish recall process. I just want to make a note on that. Since we're a statutory town, we have to obey by the minimum of what the state requires. And what the state requires on recalls is if only a select person is convicted of a crime and the town is the victim. So I've used this analogy, if one of the selectmen did something wrong, some felony, or just decided never to show up, we can't fire them, we can't let them go, and we gotta pay them for 3 years. So this charter will help us fine tune, so like if a select person is convicted of a felony, we could remove them from office. Not only that is we could make guidelines. We can adopt our existing ordinances. We can enhance our ordinances. We can make rules on contract bids so that when there are guidelines and policies, when a bid is an emergency bid, or you can wait until you come to the board and so forth. So we can make our own choices and under municipal rule. So we don't have to just the basic things that I've been complaining over the last year is when they violate state law. I want to use for an instance, as an example, during our election on January 9th, we elected a moderator. The moderator was supposed to preside over the whole entire day. Midday, the moderator quit. Under the Maine state laws, he is now in violation and is subject to $100 penalty. And I hope the board has not paid him for quitting, because he stuck around here and waited. And then another incident that happened was we had to have.
John, can you move?
I'll move
You're
on.
not selling it now. You're just explaining.
Well, I'm explaining the
Yep.
reason for why
Yep.
a charter would be
Yep.
beneficial. Okay, because we didn't know. I knew, but the election, the head of the election, the clerk, the town manager didn't know how to go forward after he quit. The clerk went ahead and held an illegal election, but once we decided, that what the state law says, we painstakingly worked it out, and we were able to hold a legal election after the illegal election. But obviously doesn't put me in a good light when I complain. But see, we either got to stick with the state of Maine laws, or we can make our own charter, because the clerk had an excellent idea. When we elect a moderator, we can at the same time elect a deputy moderator. So we don't have to run into that problem if the moderator collapses and might have to take them away, or some other reason. So to continue, the power of the charter is designing their own government structure, establish recall process in legislative local matters, providing autonomy that goes beyond the basic state statutes. And that's what I just explained. Key benefits of adopting a town charter include a tailored government structure that allows towns to customize their administrative framework. An example, combining a town meeting with an appointed town manager, which we have, rather than being limited to the default structures dictated by state law. Another benefit is home rule autonomy. The municipality can pass local ordinances, manage civic affairs without waiting for state legislative approval. Another benefit is voter accountability. Charters establish specific terms, electing procedures, like what we discussed about electing a deputy moderator for next year, and formal processes like citizens' initiatives or petitions. And also to recall elected officials when they do something wrong or they're unable to do their duties. Create strict guidelines for local leadership. That's in voter accountability. That way we have transparency to the voters and we can incorporate that in committees, budget committees, and so forth, where the transparency is to all the voters so they know what's going on. Another benefit is define the municipal powers. It clearly outlines the town's authority to maintain public assets. The current assets that we have, we'll be able to decide what we can do with them and how best that it benefits the town and the voters. Also to manage our roads, which they'll be talking about that tonight, and run local departments. Because right now, we have several departments and we'd be able to fine tune the responsibilities of each department head and their responsibilities towards the selectmen and the town manager. Such as police, fire, and giving residents a clear, codified framework of what the town can and cannot do. So with that, it will benefit. I'm going to leave a copy here or pass it around, but I just read it. I'll just leave it here with what. And they'll publish it off minutes.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
Yvette, for next agenda, could you put on a decision by the town select board as to support or approval or non-approval of the town charter?
Well, and at the conclusion of the meeting, if anybody wants to sign our petition, just see one of our petitions.
All right. Thank you much, John.
You're welcome.
Old business, town property mowing contract. You got that? You got that?
Should we advertise that?
This was a decision to extend the current. And based on the decision to extend the current was to provide a proposal of what the extension would be. Yeah, a request for a proposal was made. If you want to extend it, you have to present the proposal.
Do you have the old?
I do not have the old.
Old one. We're looking at a 10% increase for the town, so 2-year contract. Well, landfill, tennis court field, town office field, town office lawn, Gordon Wharf.
I got a question. I know what we used to do, I don't know if we're still doing it, when somebody does, and this is not strictly against Greg and his bid, but you gotta have insurance and that stuff, proof of insurance when you submit a bid and stuff still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I have rates.
The proof of insurance would be needed upon award, definitely.
Yeah.
So even if it wasn't present today, that is a requirement.
Okay.
For afterward, to continue with that.
Well, I guess the question goes down, do we want to, this is the extension of Greg's current contract, essentially is what this currently is. With a 10% bump for 2 years. For 2 years.
I want to bring something to note. We were notified by Ray Daly that this will be his last year to do Sumner.
Actually, yeah, and we've had a request for the playground mowing as well. Is that something we do on too much?
I was asking, I mentioned she refusing that.
I think Ray said I should talk to the library committee.
No,
Oh, that was right around the rec center.
that was rec center. You talked to the rec center board on that, definitely. Because I know that's an extension of what exists, but in a year things are going to change. So I don't want to cloud anything here.
So what was the amount, 25?
For
36?
36.
So this is what he's gonna do.
Yeah,
for the next two.
for the next 2
That
years,
price.
it's locked in at that price. What do you think?
Everything's going.
Yeah, all right with extending this contract for 2 years.
Everything else was extended 3.
Yeah.
And the good thing is that at the end of 2 years, we would know where we sit with the park and the this and the
Yep.
that, and whatever else. And we've been in a good position to, if there's changes to be made, be a perfect time to make changes.
Well,
You may win the lottery and never come back.
I move we extend Greg's contract as written for 2 years.
I'll second it.
All in favor? You don't vote.
So hold that.
Okay, down tree trimming contract.
No,
We got one.
Did, you must have heard Landy talk about Murphy's Stamper hitting the tree up in Sullivan,
yeah. Yeah, up on Taunton somewhere.
in front of Gino Hopkins' house.
That's where it was exactly. He said it was somewhere past Robin Candy's house. Didn't really.
2 houses past Rob Campus.
Yeah, familiar with Reynolds Property Maintenance,
Not very. Right down. On Blue Hill.
Blue Hill. Brush to be cut, does this, I'm gonna show him, just,
Yeah.
I think he knows more about this than I do. Liability insurance. What did the other guy do?
He did 25, was it?
It was something like that.
Done.
This seems excessive to me. Half of it's
They
been
know
done.
it does. Kevin Tracy, Franklin wanted to bid on it. With the foot in the paper.
Matter of fact, you mentioned the name of the company here, and that's not the individual that reached
Okay.
out to me with some questions.
Okay,
I think a lot of people had questions about it, but
this seems excessive.
Yeah, I say we table it.
Well, we submit it, put it up a bit again, right?
Resubmit
Okay.
the bid.
bring it back around and post.
Right.
Okay.
Now, you need a formal motion on that?
Good.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we, resubmit, repost for three trimmings.
My second. All in favor?
And I will let this gentleman know that's what we're doing.
Okay. Okay, road maintenance. Road commissioner's been busy. He's got all sorts of good stuff here. These are all different, I think.
No,
They're all the same?
one of each, one for each, sorry.
Okay, this is proposal from Eaton Paving to take care of Moranci Road. To fix the town landing road and the boat ramp area. And Grangeall Road and Miramar Road. Total for our roads would be, if we get all, total for our roads would be 328,500. Well, under what we've got budgeted for the year.
I was thinking, if they didn't want to do Grange Hill Road, at least Action area down where the boat ramp is. And do from the tracks on the Tongue Pond Road up to the foot of the hill, which that's the worst section. Till we decide to dig up the rest of the hill up there on top.
Well, let's,
Or if we got enough, we can do those 3 roads and then.
I think we're gonna have enough, and I would like to put another proposal out for the upper Tunkley Road.
Right, well, that's gonna be rebased ground.
Yeah, so we gotta get that,
That's a big job,
yeah.
but it's pretty rough in front of the vets, really rough.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't cost much to do from the Spruce Road to the foot of the hill. And we still gotta patch that piece on the road up behind the flag sheet that Josh dug with culvert out.
That needs a patch.
We could, maybe they'll throw that in, I'm sure they will.
Did you wanna have them updated with all that stuff and present this?
Well, I'll just have you throw it.
At no charge?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're talking, excuse me, let's clarify. You're talking about the patch to the Tucker Mountain Road.
That's not, that's not.
I do have a question, down to the town landing, I don't know if they checked on having permit to tie to that, pave to that ramp. And that,
That above the high water mark?
well, they're pretty fussy because you're in the shoreline, that may be a code enforcement for Kevin to weigh in on. I just got this today and I'm like,
yeah, it's a good.
Yeah, cause the oil on the pavement.
yeah,
Yeah, there have been maybe half a dozen times since I've been here when it does come above the
Right,
ramp.
we did one down in Stu Bend, we paved right to it, and, you know, I don't know if the town permits or not, but we did that one.
yeah.
Sounds like a DEP thing.
I got another comment. I don't know if you know it or not, but the road down on the town landing road, if you go down in front of the big spruce
I
tree,
know it.
that road's gonna be gone soon
Right.
if we don't do something.
Yep.
Riprap.
I don't know, it's,
Well, Eaton does riprap, but, you know, we could get him down there and look at it.
Certainly.
Is that where that big spruce tree was?
that big spruce, that, if you look under it, you can stick, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
at least an arm's length, maybe two.
When's the last time you looked down there, Mike?
It's been a while.
There's a good cave in there now. Yeah, that could, by that pond, that could all collapse right in.
In those big trucks with West Cove going down across there with that float.
Go to the cemetery, yes, he could have, out of state went down there, got stopped and stove up two grave sites. Gotta get blocked,
Need a gate.
well,
I-
gate
I
up
did-
top. Beyond the pack of it. People can still
Yeah.
pack,
We need to put that out to bid and get things.
but we got- build the gate up.
That's something that cemetery committee had talked about doing that just to keep people out during mud season.
Well.
But now that we have people just wrecking it during good season,
What,
From there,
can we get a hold of them and have them submit something to us to?
we don't even know who we reach out to. It's just like, oh, we could get gates and, you know, but where do you get a gate? Gotta be the right size to come across and block up. You wanna make, you don't wanna just block it off, because in case someone does get buried, you wanna be able to open it back up.
Can you give us some dimensions so we can put a hose out for the gates? Okay, good. All right, where we wanna go with these paving, guys? I've been tired of, let's not doing roads.
right,
I wanna move forward on.
What they said, 228, is that what you said the bid was for all that work?
no,
Which one?
320.
320.
How many miles is that?
Which one?
Hold on.
The Rancho is 4,000 feet. Grange Hall's 2,500 and Miramar is 1,720.
And you got town landing at 1450. So,
Yeah, they're giving us a discount for all four.
Jim, and I think an inch and a half. They're gonna take care of the shoulders where it's needed.
We do not have a vote yet.
We haven't yet.
Still haven't discussed it. John, did you have a comment?
If you wanted to swap out the Tucker Mountain Road, if it's ready,
It's ready.
for, Grange Hall Road, I'm good with not having that on the Grange Hall. Cause I think it'll hold up another year.
Yep.
As long as you, I'll get to my public comment later.
What do you guys think?
Yes, my only question is how big is the spot that's gotta be done on Tucker Mountain?
Oh,
Whether we got enough money to do that too.
No.
no, it's a culvert.
I'll have them throw it in.
It's a culvert only.
It's probably 10 by 14,
Is that the one we had the
Mm-hmm.
temporary repair done?
probably the top of probably 4 tons.
4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons. 4 tons
Chief Judge.
12.
Give us a schedule so we'll let people know when the roads are being worked on. Okay.
I don't have a problem with it, but if you, I just sat in on this, so if you guys wanna make the motion.
Yeah, I move we accept the Eaton paving for the, as written for the.
I'll second it.
Favor? Okay. Oh, Greg, you gotta get in touch with them, and get the schedule, and, yeah, get the schedule to Yvette, so she can post it.
We gotta check with
Oh,
Kevin on the
Yeah.
paving down the boat ramp.
Yeah, to see how far. I'll ask him how, you know, if he knows how far, and if it's a DEP thing, we'll get them involved, which is always fun.
Thanks for doing that. All right, Upper Tunk Lake Road issues, different issue.
See what's causing this.
Yep. You need to put that out, can we get something put out there?
We have to.
Yeah, I'm thinking, depending on what the proposal comes back, we'll do a temporary fix this year and use it for next year. Do it.
Hold down,
Okay.
rebase it.
That's a recommendation. Yeah.
And then we get.
Do these guys do test holes?
Well, you just have an estimate.
Okay.
If you have to cut a piece of paper and take down, have it back.
Okay.
The base, all
Now, you can give us a proposal for that?
Yeah.
Okay. Forward on that then. Just asking this, so at least we know what we're
right,
doing with that.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that's roads, so we're gonna.
Just ask one question real quick.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yes, sir.
Confirm the footage, you said 4,000, 2,500, 1720, and 450.
4,000. 17, 20.
The grade from 450.
450. And not.
That's 1.64 miles. $320,000.
But there's a lot of work in
Yeah.
the paper.
Okay. Okay. Town manager report.
Okay. Really quick, the property that was at up for sale was part of it was our biggest outstanding tax holder, was like $44,000, got sold.
What's the address?
It's on US 1. Basically it's across from the end of Pumpkinville, between
Oh, yeah.
Pumpkinville and Tucker Mountain Road on the water side.
Yeah.
So that got sold. Property taxes were paid off, so that's all done. That is no longer on the books. The other one that they had up on Pumpkinville, which wasn't a tax burden, is still in question. Not sure about that one. We'll get to that one, I'm sure. Not much else.
Did you get a hold of the guys on Moose Lane?
Yeah, the homeowners the property owners were contacted where the trailers are sitting to reach out to DM&J and set up a date to get for them to come pull the trailers. So that's where we're done with that.
When can you do that?
I'll get them tomorrow.
Okay.
I started today and I kind of got sidetracked. What else? Oh, the new ACO in town. We were notified by Michael Crooker that there's a new ACO named of Memphis Mink, who will be making the rounds and coming around to the town to do a hey, hi, how you doing? So, but there is a new ACO.
Has he reached out to you yet?
No, not yet.
All right.
Do you have an idea?
I'd like them to come to the meeting and so we can.
I'll see if I can arrange that.
Working and what we can get going. What we're on the, it's kind of a side topic. Jerry, I think you mentioned to me one time, you had someone interested in taking the livestock.
Yes.
And is that still on or?
I'd have to ask him.
Okay, if you could please, because I know, I think. you got-
He take advantage of it months ago.
Well, I think that information went to the old ACO, Animal Control Officer, and then she quit. So it stopped. So that's what.
Yeah.
We want to move forward if there's,
Yeah.
if that's still a viability. I appreciate it.
I'll get in touch with them tomorrow.
Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that would be good information for this new person to have.
All right, that it?
You violating the laws again? Or just,
It's removing them to make the neighborhood safe. How's that?
yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Like,
Get them out of the road, get,
not now, we're not on that right now. That was a side question.
Yeah.
We'll go on.
geez,
So.
Okay.
anything
One of my
else?
stuff dabbles into other things, so no, nothing else.
Fire EMS engineers report.
There we go. I'll pick back up. So there's always been question on the structural condition of the firehouse. Because, we have all the different reports on from the exterminator, holes in the block, holes in the building, cracks here, cracks there. So we did have a structural engineer come out and give a report on the existing structural condition of the building. With essentially, it's not fit. Adding the second floor into the building was not done in the proper way. All the weights on the walls weren't built proper to begin with. That's where we have all the cracks and everything else in the building. So the only thing we could do in the meantime was find out how you can secure the building so it can still be used in some fashion. We reached out to Kenneth Jordan. They do building moving, they're riggers. That's kind of what they do. They lift up your house so you can build a foundation under. We got a proposal from them today, maybe about 40 minutes ago. They would shore up in between the bays of the building under the second floor to basically hold up the building. The only thing the structural engineer said was good for use were the two end bays with no roof on top of them. Which leads to the other note that the roof on top of those, an extra crispy pound of bacon looks better than the roof that's on that building. That's neither here nor there. So we have a proposal from Kenneth Jordan for, he says $30,000 to $35,000 to shore up the building so that doesn't have to come down and that limited use can still happen in there. You have to re-juggle some of the vehicles around, using the far two bays more so than the others. And
So if this gets done, what assurances do we have? It's gonna meet code that we can.
it means that we know that we have to replace the firehouse. We've known that for some
I
years.
understand.
This buys us time until we can find out definitively what's up with our application that's down with the appropriations committee in DC to see if we're getting awarded any money or not. And we can plan from there to see what we're gonna do.
Mike, do you have a comment?
Yeah, essentially this came about because of Safety Works, Bureau of Labor required us to get a structural engineer in there. We did, he came back with that. I reached out to Janet and Louvain and said, yes, we can put the ambulance and the fire truck in, so anybody on that end of town will still have their coverages per insurance regulations. And if we put essentially 6 sets of blocking with steel beams, the center of the building has 1 steel beam. So he figures that center beam, he'll catch it in 3 spots. It'll hold the second floor. Dennis said we would be able to utilize the building. Public won't be able to go in it. It'll be minimal use until we figure out the new building. But it's gonna buy us time, etc. We won't be able to have trucks in it, but anything that's in those 2 bays can go into that part of it for storage.
Can I see a copy of the engineering thing?
No, you don't have, get it to them later.
Mhm.
That was it, when we get graded.
Yeah.
That's why we wanted the one contract, so we can get the price before we say we do something.
Please refrain from the comments without being recognized.
Willie,
So that's where we're at with that. So we have an extension until when?
Essentially, we gotta do something, we gotta give out.
Yeah, to Willie's point, is there any other bids or anything else? to look at
Then
this?
Kenneth Jordan.
Yeah.
We could figure out who else does this work. Who else does house moving and
Where
building
did this
shoring
guy
up?
come- Where did this guy come from?
He's
Between Walton.
Yeah.
That's what he does, he rips all day.
you don't have to build it.
So,
So
Support.
we can put something out, looking for,
well, what do you guys think? We're in a time crunch on this.
mhm.
I am completely over my head with construction stuff. I don't
I
know.
mean, I don't know, I mean, it's the cheapest price, or, I mean, it's just a matter of I-beams and
Mhm.
ribbon or lolly columns or.
Cribbing.
You can figure 9x9 blocking.
Yeah.
Back.
Cribbing. Gonna crib the whole building up.
We're not back, Mike.
Well, I think we gotta get it done.
Yeah,
I mean, it's,
how long do you guys have until, what's the extension if they gave you to stay in there?
30-day extension, I did it on June 17th, so we're coming right up on. We've got a week or two, I can kind of push her off a little bit on the update.
Yeah.
We can try to get this, somebody else that can give us a number, but I think we need to make sure for the safety of the town, the insurance and the, licensing to do said, where it's a town property.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, observation. The earliest we could get it in the paper would be the 16th. And it's a really good process.
From my knowledge of construction, we should be able to use scaffolding, steel scaffolding, the same way that they do structural buildings to temporarily hold it. They do it for pedestrian over.
Yeah, my concern, John, is we want to make sure that people that do this thing have a license and insured for this
Right.
type of work.
Scaffolding company
Yeah.
licensed to install scaffolding to structurally support buildings.
Yeah.
And that's an easy find.
Yeah.
Without a license.
the only thing that I can say is he moved the building for my youngest son, jacked it up and moved it over and set it on foundation.
This guy did.
He did, and yeah, I think he did the one over to Hancock. It used to be right in-
Post office, yeah.
by the post office. Just finishing that one up. He does a lot of them around. That's what he does.
Trying to support it. Steel is easy.
Okay,
to
guys.
install.
Thanks for the comments, now.
Well,
So I'm gonna see if I can find anybody else.
You don't have much time. I think this falls under one of those emergency things myself.
And we've been waiting for the engineering report.
Right.
That's the one thing we've been waiting for. We would have had, not that it would have changed anything, but we've been waiting on the engineering report, because you see, he was here in April.
You're gonna make you wanna make a motion to,
You got something to say with that?
I make a motion that we get it done. Have him do it.
I'll second that. All in favor? Okay. All right. We're on to committee reports. Budget committee. You had a
okay.
wrap
I'll be
up the
real
budget
quick.
committee, John?
I'll be real quick. Here's the final minutes.
Thank you.
I will post those tomorrow, John.
And, I actually sent it in on the email.
I'll post it
So,
tomorrow
yeah.
for you.
And, so those were the final recommendations. The end of the fiscal year is over, starting a new fiscal year. And, when you guys get a chance, I nominate myself to be on the budget committee for 2025.
All right. Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
Communications committee.
Yes, I have, written report in your folders. Quick little thing for private out. And
Where the 35,000 coming from that fire department, where it comes.
Fire department building maintenance budget.
Okay, communications report.
thank you. The private up on June 30th. I just need a little update as to how many people are subscribing at this point. As I said, I don't know exactly. I don't know, is there a way we can track how many people get online, right?
Excuse me?
Is there a way to track online how many people do the prior?
I don't know. I'd have to put it in a separate page, I believe, to do that, but I can check.
And there's people who are welcome to join the communication committee. Next one is on 23rd. I have attached to this the report on the social media. We have increased again this month on our research for social media. And that's all we can say.
All right. Any comments from the communications committee? No? All right. Thanks, Yvette.
You're welcome.
Let's see what that was. I think Parks and Rec, Ms. Bonnie. Hi.
We have the report I submitted to you. Just a couple of things. Everybody's noticed that the renovations have started on the granite wall down at Summit Park. They actually, I didn't see them, but I guess they were up at the transfer station laying them out so that they can select the granite that's going to go on that wall. We're starting with the wall first, and then they'll build the ramp after the wall is renovated. And Ray has the estimated contract of that. We had originally submitted a grant. We were not awarded the grant. Parks and Rec, as a backup plan, had committed our capital budget. The money's moving over into capital budget for the wall and specifically, and even more specifically, the grant, a combination of the capital budget and the budget, the 2026 budget. Just a couple of things. We did have a bike rodeo back in the beginning of June. It was successful, although not a lot of participants, but a lot of coverage and I think a lot of visibility from the community. The venture camp, Bay Adventure Camp is, there's 2 weeks. They're both full. There's a total of 32 kids, 7 of whom are from Sullivan. Those 7 campers, their full camper fee was covered by Parks and Rec. Sullivan Days is moving along well. It takes on a life of its own at this time of year. We did receive a $5,000 grant from the Maine Office of Tourism. That grant primarily is going to cover the advertising. We've never done paid advertising for Sullivan Days before. So there's an ad going into the out and about now, North American. But the biggest chunk of those dollars will cover radio advertising with the goal to increase participation of guests from a 75-mile radius of this community. Tomorrow we start reading the gazebo. It's a joint venture with the library. It's one of those things that doesn't cost anything. It's all volunteer. Hannaford has donated the ice cream. And although it's for kids, everybody likes to be read to and eat ice cream. So if you're around, you're invited. The LWC, the Land Water Conservation Grant, was submitted on time. And a big thank you to Bill Proctor, Greg Kittich from the Gary Edwards and Ray, who really did a great job on that grant. And I've listed that for you.
Give me a second, Mark. Hey, John? John? You guys take it out, please.
Over and above, the skate, the cost of the skate park, the estimate was, I think it was 435. The 500,000, that additional, because those things, are listed there. You know, correcting the drainage, level of feeding, adding walkways. So just, that's verbiage that's taken right from the grant, but just so you know that the other pieces, beyond the state park that are included. Just a couple of things I wanted to bring to your attention, or you know about the mowing. I was asked, and don't kill the messenger, to show you these pictures of the grass that's in the children's playground. That's actually a seat that's a memorial. It was given as a gift. You can't even see it. And those were taken by one of our volunteer folks who was out mowing the sections around the skateboard park that who could get to. Gordon Swap, I was down there Saturday with another volunteer. We were cutting sumac and some of the dead sumac down there and clearing the area around the children's class, the kids class. I will tell you that, yes, we did stack it. When we do stuff like this, we really need to know from the select board, where do you want it to go? In the past, when I've cut sumac down on that, in fact, there's a small pile that's still there. There's a big pile there right now. We spent an hour and a half down there on Saturday. So just if you can get back to me and let me know. I know when we worked on the gazebo last year, we were able to bring dirt over to the Hastings house and dump it there, but this is brush. Another thing with regard to Gordon Swap, I noticed as I've been working down there that there are lobster pots that appear to be sitting there over the last 2 years. Actually, it would be the third summer. Some of them are there, and obviously they look like they've been in use recently. But there's a stack of pots that are just sitting there. I don't know the ins and outs of that. It was suggested at the meeting the other night that I contact the harbor master about one of those large piles, and it's creeping towards the kids' quest.
They might be his traps.
I'm sorry. I missed it.
They might be his traps.
I don't know whose they are, but I
Want to find out?
you know, if we get to the harbor master before I do, you know, I recognize it's a combination of being a functional place as well as for Parks and Rec, a place for people to sit and enjoy the asset. And then the last thing I would just mention is that there are 2 brand new beautiful picnic benches sitting downstairs in the cellar. Parks and Rec folks are busy volunteering and cannot get to them before Sullivan Days. They have to be assembled and they have to be put out onto the children's playground area, the green space beside the state park. So they are basically begging for assembly and installation, and the volunteers on the Parks and Rec Committee have had their hands full, and I welcome anybody who would like to come and help out.
Are they tall enough to be above the grass?
That's you're right. Well, yeah, hopefully we'll get it passed. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. Ray, where are we on maintenance? Persons, that's something that you think's gonna be wrapped up within the next month?
within the next month.
Get some of this stuff addressed?
I'll go.
Oh, I'll help you do that, yeah. Let's skip. We'll talk later about it, yeah. Yeah, give me all, I'll help you with that. That's it. Okay, now we move on to public comment. And public comment is limited to 5 minutes per individual. And this is where, make sure, please be respectful and direct the public comment to the board, not to other people, and to the board, to me, and if we need to get somebody else involved, I'll get them involved. So let's start. Go. And so if you would please identify yourself just for the record.
Sharon Barron. When I was here the last time, I had some questions that I asked of the board. And you had said that there was ask the sheriff's office.
Yep.
And I immediately the next day asked the sheriff's office and they said, no, you get your answers from the town. So I'm deflecting back to you guys for my question. And I have, of course, now we have not emergency coverage, we have an official ACO. Now I'm going to ask, what official action has the town of Sullivan taken with civil violations against the livestock?
The town of Sullivan has no wherewithal to address any civil allegations like that. It is up to the individual. I checked with the sheriff's department. And they said it is a civil matter. You need to document it. Now, in the case that was before we had a new livestock manager. So, or a new ACO. So
I'm asking, this has been 3 years since the summer of 2024. So there's a lot of history. What official action, what summons, fines, civil violation has the town enacted against those animals?
none.
It is much. Okay. I'm going to request under the Freedom of Information Act a copy of those records. And I have approval from Augusta. Because I need them to take to court, to give to my attorney. I can prosecute for damages. Your job as town official is to prosecute for the civil violations of trespass. I want to copy those records.
I've never seen any records, so do you know what records she's referring to?
No,
Well, so she says you're supposed to maintain them.
I can't maintain what I don't receive.
Then you need to find them. You're the custodian of those records. According to Samantha Dawson, Secretary Associate Animal Welfare Program, Augusta.
Mhm.
All records of ACO cases must be held at a town office for a designated length of time and can be requested using a Freedom of Information request. Those records are available to the public upon request and can be assessed by whoever assumes those duties, including the Sheriff's Department if they're covering ACO duties.
I guess since we contract with the county, they'd have to provide them.
Yeah, I would say so.
They must provide coverage for those duties. So I suggest you go find those records.
Since we contract with the county would have those records. I shall submit this request to the county. Since that's who we contract with and they hold the records.
No,
No.
question for you.
I'll ask them for this. I'll make a scan of this and I'll send this to Michael Crooker at the county office.
I want them. I deal with damages. The civil violations of trespass is
responsibility of town government or the state. I have a question. Again,
See,
We're looking at our fire chief and our EMT chief using their vehicles for their own personal use. One's going into his property that it caretakes for, and the other one there is coming out of, the EMT chief is coming out of, Black Sheep today after eating lunch. And he told me it's his vehicle, he uses it as he wants. And it's my responsibility to show him where the rules say something different. And I can go on my phone here, and I don't sit here and hunt around, look for these guys. July 3rd, Mike is driving around. June 11th, Brian was driving around. May 14th, I'm driving around again. Well, it's kind of hard to tell. The tint on the wheel windows aren't legal, so you can't see who's driving the vehicle. But my town taxes is not paying for him to drive that far to work. And a lot of people in town are complaining about it. I'm not just the only one. Then I want to explain an explanation of why we tore up that lot on a property we don't own. The fire station 2. Just because it dropped a little bit. Driving the truck out was a little bump. Is that why we did it? How much did that cost?
Yeah, I don't know. That happened under the.
Emergency Contracting Act, I know.
I don't know.
You have to explain how that one works there, Ray. No comment?
but you were addressing the board, not me.
No,
You addressed the board. The board talks to me.
so Ray, Jerry asked a question earlier, I think what warrants an emergency contract.
What warrants it?
Yeah, why was that?
Warrants it.
What was that?
Work that needs to be done sooner than later. That you can't sit on
Before
anymore.
the end of the year's budget runs out, what you're saying, because that's what happened.
Work that needs to be done
Budget
sooner than
committee
later.
was complaining about how much money was left over in a lot of departments. Some departments went out there and took real big chunks out of them quick.
Would it
We'll
be,
find
would
out
it, would it
for
have
sure
been
once we
better?
get the end of the year total,
Would it have been better if we spent the money in this year's cycle?
but the property's not ours.
We have to maintain the property. As long as there's a firehouse on that property, we have to maintain the property. It's like Dollar General. Dollar General has to maintain that property and that building as long as that building is there. That's part of, having a building on someone else's property. That's what you do. No other way to explain it.
Oh, I'm sorry, this is still Jerry's time.
No, I'd love to hear an excuse for it.
No, so you're done?
The one last thing is, keep in mind, I gave you that establishment paperwork for you to know that this town has to run by the Maine State Constitution,
Understood,
and you cannot vary from that.
understood.
All bids must be put in writing. No more buddy shit.
Right.
What are we gonna do about that? The vehicles. No offense, you shouldn't be involved because it's a conflict of interest.
Well, no, go ahead.
Yeah,
I
I don't know the circumstances of this. I'm gonna, do you guys want to address this
You
one?
wanna try to tell me?
Jerry,
Careful,
Jerry,
watch myself.
Jerry. Jerry,
Good.
Ryan,
Yes, so, back a couple of years ago, there was a comment made about the vehicles being out and about, and, we tried, we would leave vehicles at home and go to work, so I work majority of the time right on Sullivan Maine. And we had an incident where a call came in, and I'm in my personal vehicle, there's nothing in it, so and all the emergency all comes in, I have to run 2.5 miles into Time Lake Road and grab the vehicle and then go to the incident from there. So it was a proven fact that day that having my vehicle at work with me and I'm available for the call was more beneficial for the people. Because I have the equipment with me and I parked my car there specifically for you. If you wanna take a look in there and tell me what all that equipment is, if they're the expert on it, you know, maybe teach me how to do it.
Back in 2024, around 9 o'clock at night, I called 911. My wife had passed out for no fucking reason whatsoever.
Jerry,
I'm sorry.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Mike, can
Uh,
I,
Hang on.
okay.
And so today I mentioned that to him, that I'm tracking up on it, and he knew about it. Because this guy Connery, or however you say his name at the 911 center, who now won't return my calls, apparently said something to him.
Not gonna get into,
Here, let me get this.
Can I ask Mike?
yeah, please.
So that call. I was walking. Knowing we were on schedule that night for a hospital, we had a driver available, and per our rules, drivers are not allowed to respond to emergency medical. So unfortunately, it happens sometimes with the volunteer department, and everyone's frustrated.
It's a volunteer department. You guys need to get that word right in your head. Volunteer.
Ray, do we have a written policy on usage for the vehicles? Don't ever recall. Are you guys aware of one? We do have one, Mike?
Vehicle use policy. Any vehicle that is owned and operated by Sullivan Fire Rescue may only be utilized by members thereof.
Okay.
In order for members to drive fire department vehicles, they must meet the following guidelines. Must be an active member of Sullivan Fire Rescue, must have an active driver's license, must have EVOC certification, EVOC being Emergency Vehicle Operator Certification, or any of the training that meets NFPA 1002. Must be assessed every 3 years, must be approved by the chief. If at any time, as determined by the chief, the ability to drive department vehicles may be revoked, it is the sole discretion of the chief to deviate from the guidelines set forth in this policy. This was first drafted in February of 23, and the current revision is from October of 23.
Which does not cover the issue in question. Mike?
I guess it comes down to this. We've run, just for example, since July 2nd, we've run 14 calls. So at the end of the day, the vehicle with almost everything in them. But that's when we're available. We're responsible. We can take the $750,000 fire truck for the iPhone that I can't get out, or we can stay home.
Yeah.
What's your pleasure?
What I would like, Mike, is to have actually a policy in place that covers it, so this question stops popping up. So I want to address it once and for all.
And just for reference, Ray, every year, I know myself, I write down starting mileage.
I know you do. I know you do.
Oh,
I've seen your,
I wanna make it
I've seen your
known
logs.
to
Yeah.
other
All right. Jerry, we're not going to solve this tonight.
This is a serious public, hold on. This is a serious problem in this town. There's a lot of complaints about it.
Yeah.
Everybody's afraid of you guys, but I'm not. Everybody's afraid of bringing shit up because they don't want to be what I say by being afraid, they're not physically afraid. They just don't want to be labeled as a complainer.
Just a comment on what these guys are talking about. I just heard from Mike that he keeps track of mileage between emergency calls and do you, so would it be a good thing for transparency, just to have a pen and a chart and just starting miles, ending miles? Okay, you're not gonna do it. Second, Ray, when was the last time they were assessed? You said that.
They get assessed by the fire chief, and their training must be maintained.
last year was assessed because it was adopted in 2023, and now it's been 3 years. So has they been assessed for this year?
I don't,
According to the bylaws, it
Every-
says that
for
it
an
get
FBA
assessed
1001.
every 3 years.
We have to assess every driver every 3 years.
So has that been done this year? This is the third year.
We did it last year in 25.
okay,
So can I get a copy of that through the records?
you can certainly put your request in, sure.
Okay, I'm making a verbal request for, the
Assessment,
assessment.
Driving
To
assessment.
see if it's updated from the department head.
Right.
Thanks.
Like, did you have a comment?
The only comment that I'll say about these vehicles, and I know that it's a sore subject with a few people,
Yeah.
but being,
Jerry, please.
being a first responder myself for 47 years, it's very important to have the right equipment to do the job when it's needed, not to have to go find it. These guys have got so much equipment in that car and they can take care of so many problems that arise without having to go to the station, so that they're riding in town and they've got that equipment. They get a call, they go to the call in that car, and they can tell whether we need a fire truck, whether I need another EMT, and they can start life-saving measures at that point in time. It is very important for the amount of equipment and for these guys to use this car. It's a service to the community.
Well, what I would like to see, thanks, Mike. I'd like to see an official policy in place, something we can reference to.
I just
So,
don't think they should be using it to work out,
good,
period.
great. I appreciate that.
I'd like to say we ask more and more of our first responders every single day. They need to have the equipment. I mean, they could be riding out and come upon like that motorcycle accident the other day, and it could be a matter of saving that person's life because they were 2 car lengths behind. We can't take away their ability.
Our mutual aid coverage here is Millbridge to Ellsworth, Walton to Sorrento. If we were anywhere in that area, that circle, we are in our jurisdiction. Further,
Okay, we're gonna go back and forth. I don't think anything that's gonna be said is gonna change Jerry's mind. Anything Jerry's gonna say is gonna change you guys'
what about
mind.
taking pictures while you're driving down the road?
So,
Oh, the handheld device.
Then follow me for private property and Berkeley, on private property. That you probably hear.
And you threaten me as I drive away.
right.
What do you want to talk about?
Guys,
I'd like to.
no, we're done.
We're still on public comment. I haven't started yet.
Okay, we're done on that topic.
Yeah.
So, is
Anybody else before I?
on public comment?
Okay, my name's John Keenan, and I'm just gonna go down and stay on agenda. Real quick before you leave, I recommend it'd be a good idea to take a valuable, tool like this and just a chart right in front of the vehicle, write down the miles after an emergency. And then when you're going to lunch, doesn't take this is quite a tool, emergency tool. So you can write down the mileage. That way we can determine just what our wear and tear is on the vehicles, what the mileage is when it comes time to replace the vehicles, and so forth, that we would have that information and that transparency. I'm not saying if you're in a rush to get somewhere, you already got the miles down from your last log. When you're all done with the emergency, just take a breather, grab this tool, write it down. You're good for the next thing. That way, when people like Jerry are asking questions, that you have the documentation to back it up. Now, I only got so much time. The contractor, emergency, on the fire station, I request a copy of what the emergency was and who approved the emergency. That should be documented, whether the select board approved it, whether it was from the town manager, and then what was the reason for the emergency. Moving on, the CEO, I was at the planning board. It's the ordinance that culverts, I'll get in a minute, that the culverts for fire stations have to be a minimum of 55 feet in length. So hopefully that the CEO, which he said he has nothing to do with it, would go down and support our ordinance and verify with a tape measure and make sure that it's the 55 feet that it requires. Because I spoke with the DOT person while he was out there doing documentation, and that's what he was doing to verify for the permit that you guys didn't get until after the fact, that you were supposed to get ahead of time. Now, the property mowing contract that you just approved tonight, I guess that's not official until you approve the minutes at the next town meeting. Josh Trundy did a ditch right across the Grange Hall Road. Why is it not his responsibility to repave that, especially prior to having any work done? Because that was a private line that was put in across the town road and should be done by the contractor, so that it's all prepared and ready. So when if we do any work to the Grange Hall Road, that it can be just paved right over. I agree with the Upper Tongue Lake Road. I went out there with a shovel and monitored and measured some of those cracks and stuff like that. All that's got to be tore up, rebased, repacted the way that a road should be designed to be put, and then paved over. That's going to be very extensive, unless you guys say that there's another emergency out there, like the tourists can't get down to their, place or something like that. But I think that at least for next year, that would be a great project, unless what you were just saying tonight, we have money left over because we approved $400,000. If you're able to finagle a bagel, like I'm quite sure you guys do, you'd be able to get the funds shifted around, moved around, and be able to take care of the Tunk Lake Road while the cost of payment is still cheap, running out of time. The tax acquired property, I just wanted to make a note that, yes, we did get the taxes repaid, but any other money beyond the taxes go to the state, from subtracted from the realty agent. So it really doesn't benefit us any much, but there are some properties that once we hopefully get a charter, that would be able to take land and use it as investments to actually make money off of it. So you don't have to sell it. You can retain it for the town as tax acquired property. The fire engine, anybody contact the Mike? I didn't mean Mike, but Mike to Mike. Anybody contact our senator to see if she can come in and promise a bunch of promises?
The fire station, you mean?
Yeah, and then promise a bunch of promises,
They're working.
and then make everybody, like people that are running against her, make it look bad. Yeah, I don't know why you don't address it to her, and she could be the hero of the day.
Johnny's got addressed.
Reclaiming my time. Reclaiming my time. The July crier, is that out? And the mowing around the rec center. Is the land that the rec center's sitting on belong to the town, or does it belong to the rec center?
Rec center.
Because they were talking about at the mowing around the rec center.
Okay,
So hopefully that, and for last of all, this is very important. We lost one of our citizens, a neighbor, an Asheville neighbor, a neighbor to my mom, Mr. Hoyt, who just died in an accident. I feel horrible. I know the guy. He used to work at Home Depot. He seemed like a nice guy. And if there was any way that the town, at a proper time, can reach out and give them my thoughts and prayers to the family, because they're going through a hard time right now. And the final thing is Mrs. Sovet, I think she's moved out of state. So we lost another good citizen on the Grange Hall Road. I haven't been able to reach out to her either. And that's all I got.
thanks, John. Anybody else? Hey, Willie. What can I do for you?
I'd like to dig down to the bottom of the whole thing with bit and mess here and find out what the rules, regulations are and stuff. I guess I'm a little bit confused. People can't,
Can you be specific? Are you,
the fire,
okay,
what was the emergency? And how long have we been talking about this emergency? We went and got prices. We went and done all of this, but we didn't have time out to put it bid. So we didn't know that the fire truck would, boo-doo, when we drove outside the doors. We didn't know that last spring. We didn't know it last fall. We didn't know it the spring before that. When did we know what? You, mister, tell me it was all Mike. Mike, I see at the store with his wife, and guess what Mike says? Oh, no, that was all the town manager. He says, nope, that was Mike. Mike did the hiring. Which one? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, grab a tinker by his toe.
When you called me on election day and asked, what did I tell you?
Don't mean Mike.
No, I did not.
Well, certainly.
No, I did not. You said Mike's running around like crazy. Why is Mike making this decision? I said, it's not Mike's decision, it's mine. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, so how long do we know about it? Why didn't we put it up bid?
We inquired Eaton last year. Eaton's price was more than we had budgeted for. Eaton was in town doing,
Is there no other contractor in town? That's my question.
Willie, settle down. It's okay. We can have the conversation. It's good.
I'm keeping track of my time.
No, okay, just
But this doesn't go on. We're gonna continue.
be respectful.
I am being respectful. I want to know, what was the reason? Can someone even just tell me the reason that we did it? Because I've parked down there many nights sitting there. And then fire trucks are going in and out, no problem. And if there was a little dippy-doo and somebody was gonna hurt themselves coming out, why couldn't we just do a little apron? Why did we dig out a foot, 2 feet of gravel and bring back in a foot or 2 feet of gravel and not even use 2-inch binder on the top of it? And why are we just handing every single job off to one contractor? Is this back to like the superintendent's building when Kevin Barbie was filling your pockets, Mike? Where are we? Yeah, you were behind that big shenanigan down there. How much money did that cost us? About $3 million on that? Stupid lease and every other damn thing. Then we bought the building afterwards. And then we paid them for a change order because the school bus wouldn't fit in the garage. That was all you guys' little scheme. Just like this is down here. What? Why did we not? Why do we not bid it up? Why? There wasn't enough time? Is that what you're telling me? There wasn't enough time? You guys didn't know that you was gonna do this before now? Or was it you were trying to spend the money before the budget time ran out? And why did it even have to all be done? Because the whole parking lot wasn't settled. Why did we dig the pond and just call up Josh Trendy and have him dig that? Was that an emergency too? We didn't know that the pond wasn't there anymore? We didn't know it? Nobody knew the pond had disappeared? Ah, emergency. We gotta call somebody. Like some answers. Got anything, or do we just call Josh Trendy?
I think John requested, that information in a different format. Yeah, so,
Well, I'd love to hear it.
yeah,
Like no one can say it right now?
Get it in writing.
You're pointing at the town manager to say it. So he knows the reason, you don't know it? Yeah, go for it, Mike.
he asked for it. Didn't he? Did Mr. Keenan ask for this? Yes or no? Did John Keenan ask for it? Yes or no?
John asked for it, Ray said he's supplied, so. if
So
it's
he
for-
can't answer it. Oh, what about, so is there, I guess my question is there even a rule for bidding? Or can we just bypass? Can we,
Yes,
do you guys need to vote something in? Do you guys need to vote? This is what I thought you guys were here for. I thought it was supposed to go,
You-
yes, no. Then all of a sudden it passes.
do you
That's the
want me
way
to
I
answer
thought
the
it was.
question?
Yes, I'd love for it.
You asked me if there were a rule for bidding. No, we do not have to go out to bid. If monies are associated with the fire department, that is up to him to decide how to bid. That is not our responsibility. He controls that money.
Then
Unless we have it
Greg can
covered.
just hire any, he's the road commissioner, so he can just hire anybody to do any road work. Correct?
With,
It's no,
Sounds-
if it's in that budget, can you do that or not?
would you wait till Greg, being a council member on the road commission, does have to get council approval. We do not have to go out to bid.
Isn't he the road commissioner?
Yes,
So he can just hire somebody, correct?
Look, the Maine state law is up because you have to go out for bid.
you're wrong. We do
All right,
not.
I will send you the email tomorrow.
Okay,
Is
You
this,
can write
is
the
this
contract
correct
out
or not?
however long you want, but you
It
have to put it out for
is
bid.
It is in the
not
Title
according,
38 that it has to go out to bid, not free bids, not so forth, but it
Yeah.
has to go out.
I
to
sent
bid.
you that, didn't I?
all right, so no,
And-
I don't have an answer to your
No,
question.
no, I'm
I
saying,
don't know how to-
so can Greg hire somebody where he's road commissioner, or can he not?
My
Because I
understanding,
don't understand how one could be different than the other.
my understanding of the rules, and apparently I'm wrong, is yes, he could.
Yes,
Okay.
you can get.
So Greg,
Yeah.
honest question, did you or did you not tell me that you were told you are not allowed to just have stuff done?
Right, I had to confront with the board.
That's not.
Because the way I always understood it is the selectmen say yay or nay.
Yeah.
That's the way that I always understood.
I was.
And I think it's pretty polite in town to ask all of your contractors that pay taxes.
Read the top one.
Yeah.
If anybody's willing to sign the petition, the
Bottom line.
charter would solve all the problems. All of them.
Yes, it would.
What am I reading here?
You're reading the minutes from a meeting held in June.
Willie Andrews addressed the culverts on Taunton Drive. Willie Andrews addressed the select board about the need for more culverts on Taunton Drive than was expected. His estimate is there will be 19 and known and possible 5 more unknown that cross the road. At an additional cost of $80,000 to the project. Aaron Shanahan moved to approve the additional monies up to $80,000 maximum. Reggie Means seconded the motion that passed 2-0.
How many years ago was this?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
And didn't this go through selectmen?
Didn't go through the bid. Much to your argument, this did not go out to bid.
I gotta-
Did not go out to
I gotta
bid.
see where- What is this? This is part-
Huh?
What, this is part of the thing. What is the whole
That,
thing?
that says what you have to do for putting out, when you spend, when a town that's operating under the Maine State Constitution spends more than $2,500 on a project, that it has to go out for competitive bid.
Boy, that's sure different than what I read, anyway. So, what is that, 30, title
Title 38.
38? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I may be wrong, like I said.
No, you are, I just showed you.
Okay, so then let's go back to this.
What?
An $80,000 award that was done in this room.
Oh, you talking about the charter?
No,
that burned
no,
up
no,
in the
no, no,
20s
no,
and
no,
30s
no,
that
no,
you
no,
told us
no,
about?
no, no.
What's
This is
the-
an $80,000 that happened in this room without going out for bid. Does that fall under the same thing that you just presented? Yes or no?
That's just another example for a
No.
charter.
That's
Is
just another example.
You said things have to go out for bid. Was this done negligently?
Yes.
$80,000
Yes.
awarded to this man. So that was wrong.
So technically,
It's like if Sargent's is working out here on Route 1, there is always
It's either it is the same thing or it's not.
a brand new piece of, a brand new project is something totally different than an existing one that you're working on.
All right, time's up, guys. We're done with this.
so
now.
if anybody want to bring a civil suit against the past actions within a, certain amount of years, then they could bring a suit against the town and hold the town responsible for violating the state statute.
Just a reflection of something. The state has a list of the ACOs by town, and it's up to the town to update the ACO. Sullivan still has game of pay, but Surrey still has game of pay. So it would be interesting to update that list with the ACO of the week. Yeah, it's right there. It's up to the state. It's named out above in a list of every town in the state and who their ACO is and where the animals go. They still have.
Yeah, I know, and small doesn't even take animals.
Right, exactly. But information is only good if it's accurate. So it's just a question of updating it.
Jerry, what was the section number under that? What chapter and section? This is big.
124 bids, awards, and contracts.
124. Huh. Municipal affairs, it doesn't have a chapter 124?
So that's 124, right?
Interesting. Mine jumps from 123 to 125. Anyway.
How convenient.
I'm looking online, it's the state.
I know, I just looked it up.
Mike?
Guess this comment's gonna hurt me as much as the two other gentlemen in this room. 3 of us got an extension on contracts that did not go out to bid. We went out to bid? Or we doing what we've done in the past? Or it's all 3 of
Well,
us?
this right here is how I look at it. If you come up in front of the selectmen board, that's something totally different than hiding everything behind a closed door.
If it's
Why
in
would
my
it be the
budget,
same-
I
why
can
would it be
fix
the
it.
same contractor every time, Mike?
We're done. Had enough of it. All you guys are doing is dealing with each other. Nothing gets done.
Yeah.
We're gonna look into it. We're gonna find out why the emergency was called.
Believe me, I know, because I'm gonna be sending some paperwork in to find out some answers.
So,
Jerry, as a note, this is about county buildings, not regular municipal buildings. So 30A subsection 124. But this is for county stuff. I think municipal might be different.
State law.
Yeah, but this is for county. This is at a county level, not a lower level.
yeah. All right, so public comments done. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Board comment. Anything on that? Any comments, Greg? Mike?
Nope.
All right, action item list, I already went over that with Ray today that I had. Let's see, what we've got on. We're going to, Ray's gonna document the emergency for the fire department. We still have, talked to Alan about the AOY proposal. Personnel policy needs to be put in place. Tree trimming RFP, we need to
Rebid.
rebid that. Eaton Paving, we gotta get the, schedule from them so we can publish it. Trailers on Moose Lane, Ray's gonna contact them tomorrow, finally get those removed. And that's all I had.
Assessing the driver.
Oh, assessment of the drivers, yeah.
EVOC class.
Yep.
Now you have executive session.
All right, motion to move to executive session pursuant to 1 MRSA 4056F to discuss confidential records. So we need the room cleared, please.
Second.
I'm sorry?
Second.
Motion,
Second.
second.
David?
All in favor?
Yeah.
No, he didn't vote.
Oh, yeah.
I seconded the motion.
Yeah, but you still got a vote. So I get one abstain.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, move to return to regular meeting session.
Yeah.
Can I get a motion to move to regular meeting session?
So move.
Second. All in favor? Yay, executive session actions. We approved the concealed permit. We approved one request and postponed another request. So that is that. So I move return. All in favor?
Yep.
Return.
Can I get a copy of what you're gonna give me with the planning board?
Oh,
And also a copy of the,
Oh, this was just for you.
Yeah.
copy of the,
I've got something
the
missing.
engineer's report.
I'll email that to you.
Email,
Sure.
okay.
That'll be easier.
Can you email that to, Willie too?
How about this? I'll print you a couple copies tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I'll stop by and pick them up.
Yeah, I'll print you a couple copies tomorrow. All right,
Second.
second, done. Great. Good night, everybody.